All right, so I am using the Good Tarot deck to use in your Celtic card spreads. I've already meditated upon the cards, laid everything out, and pulled everything so we were ready to go. All right, so just a few quick plugs before we get started. Check out my weekly woke videos. It's a new series that I'm uploading. Those are usually on Sundays or thereabout. But it's meant to be for the collective. It's non-specific. It's messages for your soul. And I am getting these messages through shamanic journeying, and I'm using the tarot cards to facilitate the discussion, the messages, right? But yes, I'm a shamanic practitioner, for those of you who are new to my channel and aren't aware, that I do shamanic journeying, and when I'm, meditating and out there with spirit, communicating with spirits, they do give me messages and things for me to focus upon. And I've been called and guided to create this weekly woke series to really focus on sort of spiritual matters of the heart, help people work through obstacles and blockages, right? More so than just, like the Zodiac Tarot. This is just more, again, it's more high level. It's meant to increase and raise the vibrational energy of the collective and just, give us some words of wisdom, hope, and inspiration. Okay, so those are the weekly woke messages. But specifically about the recent two that I did, talks about the COVID pandemic and why it's happening. There's a reason for this. It's divinely guided. Watch those videos because it goes into great detail. So I'm going to try and not focus on that too much just because it's already out there. So if something doesn't make sense, check those two videos out. It might help stitch the messages together. All right. Also, I do have a website now. Recently launched it. It's still kind of a work in progress for the most part. There's a few little tweaks here and there, but it's operational and functional. awakenhealings.org if you want to work with me. I do private readings, also energy work as well, some healing work. Again, everything is distance right now, but that's no problem, So check it out, see if there's anything you're interested in, and see if maybe I can help you work through some issues and stuff, and vice versa. All right, so let's get started. So bottom of the deck energy for your Celtic cross spread is the Hierophant in reverse. Yeah, this is a big spiritual awakening, and the COVID pandemic was meant to impact every single one of us on Earth, right? It was meant to be dramatic. It was meant to create a lot of contrast in order for us to wake up, to pause, and to recognize what's going on. This is a spiritual call to arms, so to speak, and it's meant to wake us up and increase our consciousness as human beings, as individual human beings, and as collective human beings. Yeah, so what's happening is we're all questioning our morals, our ethics, our previous religious beliefs, and we're checking in with ourselves and asking ourselves, do these still hold water? Are they still true for me? Do they still resonate for me? Because now that we're home on our own, taking a giant pause, we have nothing but time on our hands to reflect and to think about what's important to us, what's working for us, what's not working. Life as we knew it pre-pandemic, that's kind of a thing of the past. There's a lot of things that we're going to take forward, sure. But what I mean is there's a lot of things like how we were living our lives before, like life in the fast lane, tons of to-do lists, just overworking ourselves at work, always saying yes and very uncomfortable saying no, and putting friends, family, kids, relationships in the back burner because we were sort of like a slave to the man, with our jobs and our careers. I feel like money was making the world go round, that money and success and fortune and external recognition and validation was what was motivating many of us. And now that we're home, it's like, all that's gone, right? All that has been, pushed aside, and now we're home with our loved ones, with our family, with ourselves, and our thoughts. And many of us are starting to realize, holy cow, I was a walking zombie. I was burnt out. I was not my best self. I was not a great spouse. I was not a great parent. You know, I may have been a great employee. Maybe I wasn't so great of employee as much as I thought I would. You know, there's just a lot of time to reflect and ponder, you know, the direction that our lives were going in pre-pandemic. And we're looking at the quality of our lives, the quality of happiness, and the quality of our relationships. And many of us are waking up to the fact like, holy cow, that was terrible. You know, I thought I was doing well, but I'm not. I wasn't. Geez, let me reevaluate that. So I feel like this is us really coming into spiritual alignment and waking up and becoming consciously aware of our previous habits and our previous thought patterns and things that used to motivate us. And I feel like now we're gonna be more heart-centered. We're gonna be more compassionate, more empathetic, more understanding. And I think we're going to place family and relationships over fame and fortune, right? I do think that that's something that's really going to be central to the new shifts with the new normal. Once the economy and society opens up, I think we're going to be more mindful of our work-life balance. We're going to be more mindful of how we treat and engage with others. Yeah. And I think it's going to challenge a lot of our spiritual beliefs, a lot of our moral and ethical beliefs to be better human beings, right? So it's a big message, but that's what's coming through. But again, check out my weekly woke messages because those go into detail about all that, specifically about the pandemic. Okay, so let me just check in real quick with your cards. Ooh, wow. Okay. Oh my God. Aries, you got some stuff going on. Good stuff, though. Ooh, yes, really good stuff. Big energy. Here we go. Tower crossed with the Magician. Boom. Fated changes. Big changes are upon you. Your energy specifically is the Tower. You're going through drastic changes right now, and I feel like your life as you knew it may not be recognizable anymore. I feel like for some of you, there is job loss. I feel like there's a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety about the situation, about how you're going to pay the bills and how you're going to function through life. But you're crossed with the Magician in the upright position. That's the ability to manifest. So you are in control of creating your new normal, creating opportunities, and creating a new life. Ask and you shall receive, pretty much, right? But you have to allow this Tower moment to take course and to take action and to cleanse, any residual energy that's no longer serving your highest good. For some of you, this pandemic is definitely a blessing in disguise because it's giving you the courage and the push to leave maybe a dead-end job or maybe go in pursuit of something else. And right now is a perfect time to do online certification courses to increase your credentials, increase your knowledge, and beef up your resume to go forth for that job that you've sort of been putting maybe putting on the back burner, or maybe you're telling yourself, I'm not qualified for it. Yeah, you are. Magician is right here to help you manifest anything that you want in this life. Change, great change is upon you. I mean, my God, my face is itching when I do that. When I'm itching like this, it's because I'm downloading, I'm channeling, and it always makes my face itch. So I'm sorry if I'm fidgeting, but this is really big messages, really big energy that's coming through. Foundational to your reading is the Sun. Happy changes, abundance, happiness. Oh my God, this is a true blessing in disguise. I mean, yes, happy changes are upon you, abundance, the universe is smiling upon you. You're feeling really good. It may be a bit scary, but don't worry. It's going to turn out exceptionally well for you, Aries. It really is. With the sun shining upon you, that's just as good as having the star right there, the star card, which is healings and blessings. The sun shining upon you is the happiest card in the deck. abundance. So it's big, happy changes right now. All right. And your recent past is Queen of Earth. Yeah. This is you getting into alignment, getting grounded with who and where you are right now. This is you taking care of family matters, taking care of, hearth and home, looking at your finances, balancing the checkbooks, creating a budget, making sure good quality food is put on the table. I mean, just really focusing on organizing yourself and your life. And you're doing so from a place of nurturing, like mothering energy. But this is someone who is very, just very sure of themselves, but it's like a quiet, peaceful, grounded energy. All right. So I do get the sense that, you're doing well with the changes, you're doing well with like the spiritual growth that's happening. And I think, you're able to flow with what's going on. In your mind's eye is Page of Fire. So this is you turning within, tapping into new spiritual awakening, new spiritual ideas, new spiritual connections. And I do get the sense that you get it. You get the lessons. I feel like this reading is similar to the Taurus reading that I just did, because Taurus, lots of healing energy came out from them, but I do get the sense that there's something there. You're definitely awakening spiritually, and you're understanding, what's happening socially and in society. And you're seeing that the pandemic is the great equalizer. It's breaking down social barriers. It's breaking down divisive barriers, and it's creating connection, community, centeredness, and it's increasing our empathy for humans, for life. And it's motivating us to be better people. In your near future, King of Air. So Aries, I see that this is like mastering your thoughts, that you're coming into your own, and you do recognize that you are changing your points of view, because foundational bottom of the deck reading overall is the Hierophant, and you have the King of Air coming in reverse. So I feel like there's shifts going on intellectually and philosophically. So when the Hierophant comes in reverse, this is you bucking conventional thinking and going against the grain, saying like, yeah, that's great. I understand that that's how the text is written. I understand that that's how that philosophy of thought is taught. It's not working for me. And you're putting your own spin and your own truth to that. So I do feel like you're definitely coming into your own right now, Aries. And your environment is supporting that, because, this is new beginning, Ace of Air. This is clarity. It's represented by the sword, the single sword. So you have a lot of air coming up. A lot of clarity, so you're starting to see it. You get it. You get what's going on. You understand what needs to happen. You understand the direction of the situation is, and the direction of society. And I think that you're flowing with it quite nicely. I feel like this Tower moment is really going to open you up spiritually and emotionally, and it's just going to crack you wide open to set you up for happiness overall. It really is. This is a big spiritual aha moment, and you're like, okay, this is the breakthrough. I feel like this is a massive breakthrough. This is the breakthrough I've been waiting for, and here it is on a silver platter. You have nothing but time to figure out your next steps, to figure out what you're going to do, with your next phase when the economy opens up. You're releasing things that no longer serve you, and your environment card is the 10 of Air. So big, endings, and it's like, all right, that used to hold me back. I don't want to carry that into my new future. So I'm going to just cut that out, with this moment of clarity that you have. And you have the Ace and the 10, endings and beginnings, and it's with ideas, it's inspiration, it's intellect, it's logic. And this is the energy that's moving you forward. It's informing your ideas, it's informing your decisions, and it's informing your new plan going forward. Yeah, but a lot of clarity is coming in. Hopes and fears, 10 of fire, another 10 card. Releasing burdens, releasing things that no longer serve you. Again, you have 2 10s right here. 10 of air, 10 of fire. Releasing stress, releasing anxiety, releasing things that kept you stuck, heavy, burdened, boxed in. No, gotta go. Got to go. And you're using that ace of air, which is that sword, to cut that crap out, right? Overall outcome is 2 of fire. Inspiration. This is you looking towards the future, really getting into alignment with what is going to make you happy. You're getting into alignment with your truth, what's going to bring the sun, what's going to yield happiness and abundance. And you're tapping into this magician energy to do so. This is the energy that you need to create the change that you seek. Because remember, central to your reading is the Tower. Big changes are happening. It may look chaotic, it may look messy, it may look ominous, like holy shit, what is going on? But flow with it, Aries, because it is going to be amazing changes. You're going to be grateful and thankful that you allowed the changes to happen and allow the energy to flow in and out of your life. Whatever needs to stay will stay. Whatever needs to go will go. Yeah. Whew, that was a big one. That was a good one. Okay, Aries. So let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards for you. Goddess of the Moon. I'm going to pull from Sacred Rebels and Sacred Earth. Just sort of get a read on these messages that we're seeing right now. Yep, that's a good one for you all. After I'm done talking about these 3 oracle cards, I'm going to check in with love, the love situation, get a read on romance. I'm going to be using the Pure Love Oracle, and then we'll wrap up your reading with Nature's Whispers and angel messages. All right, so that's what's coming up. Okay, so your Goddess of the Moon Oracle is acceptance, reverse. Yeah, it's time to sit back and accept this, what's going on. Yeah, to accept the Tower. Yeah, no longer be in denial of it. Because this is coming in reverse, so don't block it, don't resist, don't hesitate, don't doubt, just surrender to it, turn this upside down and surrender and be like, yes, I accept and I acknowledge the changes that the divine is bringing into my life. And I know it's going to yield beautiful abundance, and it will. It will. All right. So continue to remain steady in your faith. Continue to remain positive in your outlook. Keep a high vibrational energy, because that's what's really going to bring this in a lot sooner rather than later. Okay. So your Sacred Rebel card is softly, softly, the tender touch in reverse. Yes, this is the message is saying to be soft and gentle with yourself right now. Don't force. Don't try and manhandle the timelines. Don't try and effort anything. Just sit back, surrender, accept the changes that are happening. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. It can be a very emotional time. So allow your emotions to process. Don't hold them back. And, don't be harsh on yourself for feeling a certain way. Journal about it. Write it down. Get it all out on paper, and then go back, and it allows you it allows you to see sort of where your thoughts are going, and it helps you kind of identify gaps in thinking or areas to redirect your thought process. So journaling is a great tool for the soul, and it keeps your thoughts in line and organized when you feel like you're going off the rails. All right. Okay, and your Sacred Earth card is expectation in reverse. Now is not the time to have lowered expectations. Now is the time to dream big, think big, because you have the Tower moment coming in, knocking things down that no longer served you, knocking down old barriers or old concepts that kept you boxed in and small. Now it's time to raise your vibrational energy, rise up, and really get creative and expansive with what you want in this life. You only get one life to live, and that's the whole point of the coronavirus, is to show us how precious life is and how fragile it is. There are folks out there who are getting sick with COVID and are gone within a week. Don't let that be you, and don't let that, don't let life pass you by. This pandemic is meant to shock us and to wake us up and to be like, look, you are the gifted. You're the lucky ones. You survived the pandemic. You have a do-over. What are you going to do with it? Got to raise your vibrational energy and raise your expectations.